Coach Longo. Who wants to go first?
Coach, I heard you speak down in Jackson. You talked about a long season and being able to substitute guys. Will you just do that in situational, or do you think you'll just? I was thinking of the offensive line more than anybody else. You think you'll use those guys every other series, or you don't know?
Well, we actually use the same standard for every position. We're going to look at every position based on how healthy we are. I can use the O-line, for example, in this situation, because that's what you asked about. We feel like we have 8 guys who can play, so 8 guys will be in that rotation. They have kind of met the standard to start or play and contribute for us on Saturday. Some will play more than others, but we want to play all 8 so we can. It helps us winning the war of attrition. It helps us keep some guys fresh, and we want to develop those guys. So we're going to play all 8 of them if we show up with 8 healthy guys on Saturdays.
So you come in as the air raid guy, but just watching some in camp, you seem to want to run the football maybe more, or you're just trying to develop that run game.
Well, I think and I said this when I was first hired. The principles of the air raid, the philosophy with regards to the approach in the passing game is to chase space, and that is by far 100% what we do in the pass game. We have just taken the same philosophy and added it to our running game. So that's kind of how we game plan the run game, and I just think that if you're going to win a championship, if you're going to win a football game, there are times where you have to establish the run game, and so it's just going to be a little bit more prevalent in our offense, maybe than in some other, pure air raid type systems.
Coach, without Dawson Knox, how comfortable are you with Jason and Ty and Octavius and Gabe at tight end?
It's I'm not as comfortable because Dawson is the #1 guy. I mean, he's the true hybrid that we have. He's 252 pounds, he's 6'5", and he can run, and he can block in the box. So he's a hybrid tight end that I think you're going to get once in 10 years. So I was excited, and I am excited to have him. He will not be playing for us in this game. I think the things that the other 4 players do well, they do well. And so we're going to use them in that role. I don't know if any one of those 4 players is as versatile as Dawson is, and that's what makes him so special. But Cooley's physical, and Ty Quick is physical, and Gabe can play on the outside, and Pellerin can play on the outside, and so we'll use those guys more in the roles that they fit for us, as opposed to Dawson Knox, who can do both.
Phil, when you were hired, it seemed like the feel was that the offense would kind of be a combo effort between you and Freeze, and obviously that's changed, that dynamic. Matt Luke says this is kind of your baby going forward. What's this going to be like for you this week, kind of, leading an SEC offense and seeing if it works at this level?
Well, I would say, to be truthful about Coach Freeze, he turned it over, and I spent maybe 10 minutes with him in the offensive staff room talking about X's and O's. I mean, he asked me what I really wanted the most with regards to taking the position, and I told him autonomy, and he said that was his goal. That's why I was being hired. And so throughout the spring, that's the way it was. So there really hasn't been a change from the spring to the summer, and I fully appreciate the fact that Coach Luke has let us run with what we're doing, and I think the kids are getting it now, and I want the next 5 days, but I'm excited to see what they can accomplish in this system in 5 days.
I'm going to try to explain this the best I can, but in the past, there have been times when they slowed down the offense to make sure the defense stayed rested, but I take it you're not going to do that. I mean, I take it you're going to go.
Well, we want to go because we want to put pressure on the defense, but at the end of the day, I'm going to do whatever we have to do to help our team win. And I've said in the past, if Coach McGriff or any defense coordinator that I've ever worked with, if they saw something in a game they didn't expect and they needed time to coach it up or make adjustments on the sideline, I would slow it down in the middle of the second quarter if it meant helping our defense get prepared for the next drive.
Right.
You know, I think, defensively, special teams wise, offensively, the entire program knows that we wanna play fast, and so we've kind of been designed that way. So I think everybody's prepared for what we do offensively, but if I had to slow it down to help any facet of the team, I would do that.
Sure.